Easy streets, easy streets.
I'm Michael Sterling for BroadwayWorld TV. We're coming to you from Los Angeles and the Hollywood First United Methodist Church, a church that is hosting rehearsals for Annie, the big summer musical at the Hollywood Bowl. It's kind of traditional that they do all of the rehearsals here because they have this amazing rehearsal space. So it is a day that is significant to us. We've been covering the Hollywood Bowl for BroadwayWorld TV for many years, but Annie is such a special production and it has such amazing stars in it. You're going to meet all of them in just a second. It's a family outing and it plays at the Hollywood Bowl on that beautiful big stage July 27th, July 28th, and July 29th for 3 performances only. So get your tickets now by going to HollywoodBowl.com. Don't go away. We're going to be talking to the stars. We're going to see some of the rehearsal. It's going to be a blast. Lea Salonga.
Hi.
Hollywood Bowl. Annie. And she's playing Grace, this amazing role.
Oh, it's
and we
so
were so
fantastic.
happy to see the rehearsal. And your chops are just amazing,
Thank
even
you.
well in everything you do, but you're certainly employing them well in this role.
Yeah, it's classic musical theater, and it seems that my voice likes living in that world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we like living in that world of your voice too, because you are one of my favorite female singers.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
When you wake, ring for Drake. Drake will bring your tray. When you're through, Mrs. Pugh comes to take it away.
Tell me about this process for you of playing this kind of a role in a show that is so famous.
Oh my
What I mean, Michael Arden, you can't get much better than that, being
Really
your
can't.
director.
Yeah, and this is not our first time working together. We
Yes, of
did
course.
Once on This Island.
Yes.
And he cast me as Urzuli, the goddess of love. And the process in the rehearsal room with him that first time was, I mean, it was a little more luxurious than this because we had 3 weeks in the rehearsal studio.
Right.
Here we really only have like 1 week in the rehearsal room, and then we have to start working at the bowl pretty soon. And so it's a very truncated, abbreviated, super short rehearsal process, and everyone really has to know their stuff before even walking in the room. And so I made sure that I was ready and prepared so he would have one less thing to worry about.
Well, I must say, really, and I mean this honestly from my perspective, and we have covered most every summer of these kinds of shows for years.
Yeah.
This was the most well-defined rehearsal at this juncture of 3.5 days of rehearsal.
Thanks.
Seriously.
Thank
that,
you.
I mean, everybody was on point, and those children especially.
Oh, those kids, forget it. And I think they started working with Michael and with Eamon Foley, the choreographer. I think they started a week ahead of everybody else, which is smart.
Are you having a ball?
I am. I really am. It's quick. Like, what do we have, 1 week?
Basically, yeah. You've done 3.5 days, and I think you only have another 4.
Yeah, it's quick, man. So you just have to hit the ground running. Yeah, but it's
you know,
fun.
you've got Michael Arden covering your backsides, and
Steyr is in it, who I love. Roger Bart, who I've never worked with, but I've been a big fan of his. Who else? Lea Salonga.
Oh, my gosh.
Who I just saw Once on This Island, Once Upon This Island, Once
on This Island.
Once on This Island, which was amazing and wonderful, and I was so happy they won the best revival.
Michael directed that as well.
Yeah, so it was an easy call.
She has that voice is effortless. And I didn't know that you sang as well as you sang.
Oh, and it's not effortless. If you could see the internal workings, it was like, no, but it's fun. It's fun.
And you've got such a beautiful little girl playing Annie.
Isn't she
Yeah.
sweet? Every time I screw up, she goes, "That's okay."
Her giving him advice.
Exactly.
That's
Thanks.
okay.
Thanks, Kayla.
Tell us a little bit about the training for this animal. Was this animal trained for this production, or has it appeared in other productions?
I trained the original Sandy for the original Broadway production 41 years ago, so I've trained about 23 Sandys over the last 40 years. I adopted her 8 years ago from an animal shelter because all the animals we train are rescue animals. So she's done about 2,000 performances of Annie around the country.
God bless you. And she's consistent in her work?
I would say more consistent than the humans.
And did you have a special bonding process to go through with this dog?
Yes. Actually, one of the special bonding processes is I got to have a sleepover with Macy.
Really? Yeah. Wow, a sleepover with the dog out of Annie. Were you excited?
I was very, 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 very excited.
Did you have your girlfriends come over?
No, just my mom and me, Macy.
That's nice. So now you get to be best of friends, and he'll respect you on the stage and vice versa, right? This is not your first time on a stage, I have a feeling, because you have a very old soul, young lady.
Thank you.
You do a remarkable job. We were so happy to be able to see you sing in the rehearsal today.
Thank you so much.
Have you ever been at the Hollywood Bowl before?
No, I've never been in California until now.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, fantastic. Welcome. It's going to be an experience that you'll remember for the rest of your life. It's just 17,000 people a night, that's all.
Yeah, no big deal, no pressure, yeah.
What was the casting process like for you? I'm sure everybody in the world came out for it, but what made you go with that young lady, for example, Annie? She was amazing, and that's probably one of the reasons you went with her. But
yeah, she just gave the best audition, and her voice is spectacular, and she's got a real great spirit, and she's a really sweet girl. So it just spoke for itself, you know.
Looking at them in the number that they did in rehearsal, I always felt these girls have an old soul. Every one of them, because they are so mindful of what they're doing, and it's not like they're floundering. They're doing exactly what they should be doing, which I'm sure comes from you originally, but they carry it through, and that relates to the audience can relate to that, easily.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you imagine in 1933, especially when your lifespan was a lot smaller. These kids were middle-aged at this time.
Most people think of this role as just a mean woman, and she does have her issues.
Yes.
But what was your approach to playing it?
I like to play her very mean and with a lot of issues.
See,
No, it's funny. One of the little orphans actually said, "There's such a great, sweet generation, and they're so incredibly talented." And she looked at me. I said, "Sorry, I'm so mean, you guys." And she was like, "She probably had a bad childhood too." She was like, she and Trunchbull both probably became that way for a reason. I was like, well, there you go. You already did the work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Smart kids.
Yeah, totally smart. I have to say, there's a reason this show is so beloved, and it's not just kids and dogs. The storytelling is so clean, and the book is so well written. Besides the fact that it was the first musical that I ever, aspired to, fell in love. I mean, anyone of my generation, this was the reason I wanted to work in music theater. It's not that hard. I mean, these people are poor and they're desperate, and there's you go to desperate places. So finding the comedy in that is challenging and joyful.
Sure.
But it's a great piece and a really important piece of the story.
Ali Stroker, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Welcome to the Hollywood Bowl, and Annie.
Thank you so much. It is really exciting to be here.
You know what? She plays one of the most sought-after roles in the casting process of this show. It's called The Star to Be in the big New York numbers. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. It's definitely a dream come true. I did Annie as a kid, and I remember hearing that solo, and I was like, God, one day, maybe.
I know. It's such an amazing part of that song. It just kind of lifts it up into another stratosphere.
Yes.
And you certainly did that today, and I'm glad that we were here to see it in rehearsal, so that's exciting for us.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming by. I think it's going to be really great next weekend.
Fair warning, up there in lines I'll be.
Another star who needs no introduction, the gorgeous, talented, beautiful
Stop it.
Megan Hilty.
Megan, hello.
Playing Lily St. Regis in Annie. What a plum role for you.
It's so much fun, yeah.
And is it something that you had wanted to play and just never had the chance?
It's something that I never knew that I really wanted to play until I got the phone call about it, and I was like, absolutely, that sounds like the most fun. Yeah.
And have you appeared on this stage, the Hollywood Bowl?
No, I've never seen anything here. I've never been in anything here.
Really?
This is my first introduction to the bowl.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
I'm very excited.
Just you'll end up playing to over 60,000 people
No big deal. No big deal.
in one weekend.
Yeah. Just another weekend.
What one role in your career so far with theater would you haven't done that you would like to do?
I want to be Mrs. Lovett in Sweeney Todd. Like that's like my goal, or the witch in Into the Woods. But yeah. But Mrs. Lovett, I would love to do. Yeah.
I'd love to see that. I would love to see that. It would be a transformation for you.
Oh my gosh, one day it's going to happen.
We're so happy to have you back.
Oh, really
in
great.
Los Angeles.
Great
Of course,
to be
you
here.
live here, but back at the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah, it's my second time at the Bowl, and it's magical. It's fantastic. Last year I did Mamma Mia, and now I'm fortunate enough to be in Annie.
And you are playing a very different kind of role for you, as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
it's
yeah.
a little older than you usually play,
That's
right?
right. Yeah, I'm playing Franklin Delano Roosevelt. It's kind of a cameo, a cool little cameo. It's my third president. I've played John F. Kennedy, Thomas Jefferson, and now Franklin Roosevelt.
Why not?
Why not, indeed? Yeah. I'll be the best built Roosevelt.
There you go, yeah. Look who it is, Roger Bart.
Hi.
How are you, sir?
I'm so well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I am good. Are you having a ball so far with this
Oh
show?
yeah, yes. I
Even 3.5 days of rehearsal?
well, we're in the wait a minute. What do I do at this foot stage of things? Which has these things are so fun. You know, you don't have time to second guess yourself. We just sort of jump in and put on a show, and it's such a great show. It's such a perfect show. So it's a real treat. And being with Michael Arden directing it, we're so lucky, and we have such a good time. So far so good.
Working in front of 17,000 people a night is like a piece of cake for this man at this point.
Fantastic. Thank goodness for jumbotrons. I get lost somewhere around row triple Z, but really, really fun. One of the great, unique venues of the United States, and such a special evening for people who come in to see the shows, to sit outside under the stars and have a glass of wine with their friends and family and enjoy it.
With this role, you certainly have one of the major numbers in the show that is so, such recall when you walk out of the theater. Easy Street?
It's amazing, right? I know. And every time I've mentioned doing this show, somebody immediately starts singing the song. So I better hit the right notes for sure.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
Roger Bart, in Annie this coming weekend, July 27th, 28th, 29th. Get your tickets, HollywoodBowl.com. Thank you, sir. Always a pleasure to see you.
Pleasure to see you again.